All right, welcome back. It is time for us to have a look at the newspapers. Oh, my mom was talking to me yesterday and she was telling me ati vile narudingi nikisema all right. Ilinifanya nicheke. I was like, oh, I say that. And then I realized that just right now I said all right. But anyway, we are back with the Daily Nation and it's time for us to have a look what is being reported in our newspapers. And the Daily Nation right here, I see the very top story. Raila, I am not anyone's project. Ooh, okay, let's see what's more on that. AUC bid. It is now all systems go after the government yesterday officially unveiled the roadmap for former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's and Kenya's candidacy in the forthcoming election, and that is of the next chairperson of the African Union Commission. At a joint press briefing with PCS Musalia Mudavadi, the opposition leader said he was ready for the continental task ahead. That is on pages 4 and also 5. Still on the top story, on the top page here, I see Kenya all set to host 2024 Kiswahili Day. Preparations in top gear, says Jumwa. This is on page 2. I see here also on the top page, children's doctor by day and DJ by night. Dr. Elizabeth Kuta isn't your ordinary medic. Interesting story. That is on page 3. And I see here, as a government and a country, we wish Raila good luck and Godspeed in this noble endeavor for the continent. Africa also needs a Baba. This is what PCS Musalia Mudavadi is saying, still on the same story that is being reported on pages 4 and 5. I see here Odinga to face off with 3 others. Only candidates from Eastern Africa will be eligible for the AUC chairperson's position as part of new rules on rotation. After rigorous vetting, they will then debate each other at a televised forum where they will field questions from the public. Mr. Odinga is facing former Seychelles Vice President Vincent Meriton, Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs Mahmoud Yusuf, and ex-Somalia Foreign Minister Fauzia Yusuf in the elections set for February next year. And let's just go to page 2 and see more on the story of Kenya's all set to host the 2024 World Kiswahili Day. Cabinet Secretary Aisha Jumwa is saying Kenya has been granted the opportunity to host this year's celebrations. We must convince those who proposed our name that they made the right choice. And still on page 2, counties move to ban private vehicles from park triggers outrage. That is a story that we covered yesterday. And I see here that a decision by the Narok County government to ban private vehicles from entering Masai Mara National Reserve has sparked a public uproar. Chief Park Administrator Alex Nabaala, in a communication dated June 3rd, said only select vehicles will be allowed to access the park. So we are having a lot of a lot of reactions on that, and I see for some tour operators the move has severely impacted their businesses. One saying, I don't know how I will repay my loans, said one operator who only identified himself as Shadrach. Some operators also feel that the ability to navigate the reserve at their own pace is integral to the safari experience. That story is on page 2. And I see page 4 here. And page 5, of course, is the story on Raila. I'm my own man, says Raila as state joins his bid for continental post. ODM Chief and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi addressed a joint press briefing and unveiled strategy team of 5. And I see here the strategy team includes AMB Mahbub Malim, AMB Dr. Caroline Karugu, AMB Anthony Okara, AMB Elkana Adembo, and lastly, Professor Makau Mutua. A story on pages 4 and also 5. And I also see here page 6 where Tangulas push to unite Western Rattles. ODM Chiefs National Assembly Speaker hosted regions MCAs at his Bungoma home on Monday. The ODM party has been informed of an informal invitation to some or all of you by the leader of Ford Kenya Party. This is Mr. Odworo Ongwen Wads. And I also see here Lugari MP Nabina Bwera ODM, who serves as Western Parliamentary Caucus Chairman, has been crucial in organizing some of the recent meetings graced by Mr. Wetangula and denied knowledge of the Monday engagement with the MCA. So that's still on the same story, and that is a story on page 6. And going on to page 7, I see Uber Bolt threatened to pull out of Kenya over proposed taxes. Oh my goodness, this is interesting. I see 1.5% is the rate of digital service tax that is currently demanded of ride-hailing companies. 6% is what the National Treasury is proposing to charge the firms under the significant economic presence tax. So now it is said that Uber Bolt are threatening to pull out of Kenya over these proposed taxes. This is really on another level. And I see here the bill seeks to remove the digital service tax, which currently is currently charged at the rate of 1.5%, and replace it with the SEP charged at the rate of 6%. That's literally double, or is it triple, or 3 times, almost 3 times what it has been. So we will keep following up on that particular story. And I see here more on the same, that Bolt and Uber separately told the National Assembly's Finance and Planning Committee that imposing the significant economic presence task, that is SEP, will likely lead to collapse of the industry due to losses or low margins. And I think sometimes even this will have a ripple effect even on now the passengers, because when you book, the price that you used to pay may even be double because they're trying to pay these taxes. But we hope that all will be well. And I see here, page 8, that police yet to crack case of granny's body found 9 months after death. Oh my. Very bad. Detective here is saying it's highly likely that whoever killed her was well known to her and was aware that the home wasn't frequented by people, so it wasn't easy for the body to be discovered. This is very sad. Very sad. And I see here on June 2nd last year, at a homestead in Thika's Landless Estate crime scene, investigators from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, discovered a badly decomposed body of Leah Njeri Githua, who was discovered dead in her home in Thika after 9 months. And after a year-long investigation, police are unable to establish the cause of her death and have recommended an inquest. Page 8 is that story. And moving on to the DN2 property today, what they're talking about is road to sustainability in paint business. Interesting, as the CEO speaks on a wide range of issues that impact the sector and staying ahead in the game to meet growing demands in an ever-changing environment. Look at that story on pages 22 up to 23. And I also see here in the counties that operation to exhume bodies from Shakahola Forest still continues. Look at that story that is on page 20. And on the back page of the Daily Nation, I see huge sigh of relief as state secures 1.2 billion shillings vaccine worth of vaccines. And I see here ministry source says UNICEF Gavi had refused to give Kenya the life-saving jobs over 1.5 billion shillings debt. And I see here that countries where IVI has done technology transfer, IVI develops a vaccine and teaches a country to make it. This makes the firm responsible for the quality of vaccine and also help pass through regulatory hurdles. And that is 5 countries where the IVI has done the technology transfer. And going to the sports page here, I see relentless Ronaldo chasing more glory with Portugal. Potent Portuguese forward has scored 10 goals in his last 12 international matches. Page 39 and page 38, Cote d'Ivoire later. Let's focus on Burundi for now, says Olunga. Lethal Al Duhail striker wary of Swallows, says Stars must be at their best to win. And that's it for the Daily Nation. And just to have a look at what is being reported on the Standard as well, just briefly, I see the first top story here. Ruto takes over Raila's AU job bid. Okay. President William Ruto and Raila Odinga are leaving nothing to chance in the quest for African Union Commission chairmanship, with government taking charge even as opposition chief discloses they have agreed to cut bureaucracy and unveil a well-oiled joint drive. Musalia Mudavadi here saying the campaigns are led by the state with highly experienced and knowledgeable officers, with the State Department for Foreign Affairs having established a campaign secretariat which includes the candidates' strategy team. Still on the top page, Kibaki friend's son's knew of other daughter. Okay, I see here page 6, the rift. Also page 14, I see the rift between the president and his deputy is a reflection of the politics of pity, what we see each leader attempting to shape public perception by casting themselves as victim rather than aggressor. And still on the top page, why state wants court to give nod to GMOs. President Ruto determined to push for adoption of genetically modified organisms, asked the court to throw out 4 petitions and adopt a decision that approved BT maize. Page 2, Ichung'wah, it is not in order to revise budgets. The MP said it reflects lack of preparedness in budgeting making and introduces budget making and introduces uncertainties in resource allocation for programs. He called on Treasury to limit supplementary budgets to at least one in a financial year. And I see here reduced government expenditure for the 2023-2024 financial year. National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah blamed the National Treasury for the shift in goalpost, and this we are talking about 24 billion shillings. That is the reduced government expenditure for the 2023-2024 financial year. And I see here still on page 2, I see DPP Weinstein, who assaulted officer, denied bail. That's a story on page 2. Still on the story that we've been covering for the past 2 days. I see here in the county, CS Malonza and Pinyamai ditch supremacy battle. That is a story on page 2. Page 3, UN calls for ban on oil, gas, and coal adverts. Okay, the World Environment Day was marked worldwide yesterday. Humanity is playing chicken with climate targets set to by the 2015 Paris Agreement to limit warming to 1.5 Celsius. And I see here global emissions need to fall 9% every year to 2030 to keep the 1.5 degree limit alive. And that is on page 3. And on the back page of the Standard, I see Coach Spalletti choose over Euro title defense. The revamped Italy defend Euros crown where World Cup dreams were made. Heroes who beat England to win the last Euros have largely been cast aside. And on page 39, I see more doping sanctions on the way as ADEC flexes muscle. The anti-doping agency suspended 33 athletes on Tuesday evening, and I see increasing numbers of sanctioned athletes is due to campaign to nab cheats. A story on page 39 on Euro 2024 set to happen between Friday, the 14th of June to Sunday, 14th of July. Says here, Pope returns for host Germany as they chase fourth Euro crown. There is renewed hope as the host prepare to impress in home tournament. Many were predicting an early exit for the 3-time European champions. And that's it for the Standard. And just lastly, briefly going to the Business Daily, parastatal reform split PSC State House teams. PSC terms new state corporations guidelines as illegal. Split reveals fight to control billions under parastatals. And I see here on the credit bit, loan default hit 18-year high on soaring interest rates. And coming here still on the Business Daily, I see the story on Uber Bolt, one of Kenya exit to Treasury tax plan. Bolt and Uber have warned they will be forced to close their operations in Kenya if Parliament approves a 6% significant economic presence tax on gross turnover for non-resident firms. This is a story that we have seen cut across the Daily Nation as well. So this is on page 5 on the economy. And the last word, Anita Roddick, founder of The Body Shop here, says, nobody talks about entrepreneurship as a survival, but that's exactly what it is and what nurtures creative thinking. Running that first shop taught me business is not financial science. It's about trading, buying and selling. So for those with businesses, for those getting into entrepreneurship, this is a word that I believe will, for lack of a better word, minister to you. But yeah, we've come to the end of the newspaper review, but you can grab a copy of your favorite and also tune into Hope FM. At the top of every hour, we have news updates. And right here on Hope TV, we have Dira at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. we have News Watch. Let's have a look at the video of the day.